What's up, everybody? Welcome to Studio Wesley Live, the only show where we are live and Studio Wesley. Hey. My name is Michael Yerrick. If you don't know who I am, I'm normally behind the scenes running tech for the show. And today we decided 10 minutes ago that I would actually join the live as a guest, and we decided 2 minutes ago, why not throw me in as host and just see what the heck happens? So here I am with the lovely people that you do actually know and love. Hello everybody, Allison, Neil, Grace, welcome to be here. I'm like choking now. But we normally start with introductions and then we say a question that Derek randomly asks us. And my question that I just came up with 30 seconds ago, the timeline is very important. Who is your Glinda and Elphaba if you had to choose from Toy Story characters? Allison, take it away.
You're gonna throw that to me with no warning? I was about to compliment you on this intro, Mike. I'm doing okay. I was doing okay. I'm having a little bit of a crisis now. Glinda and Elphaba of Toy Story characters?
I feel like the easy way to go is you can go Woody and Buzz if you need to.
No.
Okay,
I think Bo Peep is Elphaba. I feel like
nice.
hands down that's easy. Bo Peep is Elphaba. It's Glinda that I'm having a hard time with.
Mm.
Like Barbie feels easy to say because Barbie's on there, but that's like not an important character in my opinion on
Toy Story 3, very important.
You're right. You're right. I'm forgetting about yeah, you're right. You're right. I don't know. I'm gonna say currently Barbie is Glinda and Bo Peep is Elphaba. Actually, I think Woody would be Glinda.
Ooh, hot take.
I'm going Woody, Glinda, and Bo Peep Elphaba. That's my final answer.
This is now turning into a table discussion. Neil, do you agree?
Hi there. So as probably the only person in this here Studio Wesley that is live group who has probably not seen any of the Wickeds, never seen a production, haven't seen the movie, never really like bought into the hype or anything like that. I just watched all of the weird interviews and watched all the discourse around Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande's relationship.
Boo, sound effect. Boo.
This is true. So instead, I'm just gonna express my love for my dear friend Rex because I was a dinosaur kid and I had many a dinosaur toys. And if I was Andy, as much as I love a good Western, this guy would be my favorite toy. And as for Elphaba and Glinda, I'm just gonna say that Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head are goals, and that's the way God intended it.
When you said you haven't seen anything, I thought you were about to tell us you've never seen Toy Story, any of them.
Oh, well,
And
I've seen the last three. Wait, I did see four. Yeah, because
yeah,
four had Forky, right?
yes,
Yeah,
Forky.
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
Forky's
yeah.
my
All
Glinda for sure.
right,
I
so
was
I've
actually,
seen
I'm
all
like, I
four.
take back what I said.
Hey, look, I'm helping.
I forgot about Forky, and one that hurts me personally that I forgot, but he's my Glinda now.
How dare you?
And Grace, any wild cards you want to throw into that conversation?
Yeah, I have a lot of feelings about this actually. I didn't think I would, and then I remembered. I haven't seen the Toy Stories in a while. But I think, okay, my personal thought, especially because of the Fiero of it all, I think that Bo Peep is Glinda. Or Galinda, but also Glinda. I think that Jessie is Elphaba, which would make Woody Fiero.
Oh, you're giving us the whole. You got to finish it off now.
Lotso is Madame Morrible.
Come on, keep it coming, Grace.
I'm trying to think of who else. Forky. Maybe Forky's the lion.
Forky's the lion.
Okay, so who's Nessa? Barbie and Ken can't be Nessa and Bach because they love each other.
That's true. Who seems like which Toy Story character would you want to drop a house on?
Lotso.
Lotso. Sorry.
Bless his heart. I don't know. Are there any other like kind of evil characters that maybe it's not their fault initially, but they suck as a person because they never grew past their feelings?
Sid, the bully with all the fucked up toys, but also like even like Sid and Lotso.
No, I don't blame him.
Well, I don't blame.
He didn't know they were alive.
I don't even think I blame Lotso either. You know what I
I
mean?
do.
Each one's, product of their own, like kind of past, and then decided to turn different. However, Sid did become a garbage man, so he did become an upstanding citizen.
Oh! You know who the wizard is? The chicken guy.
The chicken guy.
The chicken
Wait,
guy.
Oh,
Wait, which one's the
dang.
chicken guy? Wait,
The
From
chicken
Toy Story
guy,
2.
Neil.
Because he paints up because he tries to paint them up to fancy them up, like the wizard,
Yeah.
and kind of Madame Morrible too. But
Dang, the chicken guy. That's a good symbolic energy right there, Grace.
thank
That's
you.
wonderful.
For no apparent reason, I'm really good at pattern recognition.
oh, you mean this dude?
Yeah, oh yeah, chicken guy.
Yeah. Give it up for chicken guy
Oh.
in the chat, y'all.
The wizard and
Dude.
I, chicken guy.
The
Come on
wizard.
now.
Hey,
The
he
chicken guy.
he has a
and
name.
I.
His name is Al McWiggin. Put some respect on it.
Okay, but I said the
All
chicken
right.
guy, and y'all knew exactly who I was talking about.
Al McWiggin, as we all let that settle into our bodies, we're gonna move into highlight of the week. Nary a few minutes in, and we've already got judgment from our comments section. But that's okay. It's judgment that comes with love. He's just jealous because he's not here. It's fine. And I'm hosting in his place. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Highlights of the week. I'm gonna just keep going in the order that I've been going. Allison, you want to start us off?
Yeah, mine is about gorillas, guys. It's about gorillas. There were two twin gorillas born, mountain gorillas, and now I'm forgetting exactly where they were born. But there's like two parts of this highlight. One, gorillas are kind of terrifying, but I don't know if you've ever seen them in baby form, but they're really cute. And there was two of them at one time. So it is super rare for gorillas to have twins. It's also super rare for the twins to survive. So this mom had two twins, currently both doing really well. And it just kind of shows a lot of things. So like part of it is like it's showing like conservation efforts, because at one point by a lot of researchers by like the 2000s thought that gorillas would be, these specific mountain gorillas would be extinct. And they're not. So they're still here and they're growing and they're having really like rare occurrences of twins. And so I don't know. I don't have a ton to say about it, but I just got really excited over the idea of two little tiny baby gorillas.
I'm like really regretting not having the picture of the baby gorilla twins like on screen. There's like a horrible missed opportunity, but that's okay. That's okay.
It'll be on our Instagram tomorrow.
Oh, praise the Lord. See, God is good. Yay, everybody. Amen. Sermon has been made. Yay. Okay. Neil, can you beat this is not a competition. I'm so sorry. That is not
It is
the
a
language
competition now, Mike. You made it a competition.
No, I didn't mean. Okay, poor language choice. Neil, how would you like to follow baby gorillas?
Yeah, so first of all, I'm holding up a picture of the baby gorillas. Allison, I got you. Don't worry. Our new host might be slacking on his job. I got it. Just kidding, guys. It's his first day. It's his first day. Give him a break. Give him a break.
Also, technically, like getting the photo ready, that's a tech job, and this is not my first day doing it. Dang.
I'm gonna follow up Allison's really wonderful, amazing news with just more sad news, more lowlights. So few weeks, however many lives ago, I mentioned that a local brewery, Intuition, is closing down. When their lease is up April 24th, they will be shutting their doors for good, which is really sad. They've been a big staple in the food and bev scene over here for more than a decade, basically, for the better part of a decade at least. Their beers have been all over. People have loved it. And usually they do a yearly release of something called Underdark. And Underdark is a like whiskey, like barrel aged beer. They age for like the better part of a year, if not more. Underdark is always like a huge day for them. Like a ton of people always come out from around the city, from around the state to come and get some and to try, the new batch or whatever it is. And yesterday was their very last one. It was the last Underdark day. And that makes me quite sad. I've only really been around for like the last, the 2 to 3, it's like I've known about Underdark, but I was there for last year's, I was there for this year's, and this year is my last year doing it. I'm sad because I haven't been around long enough to really appreciate it. But now this event that many intuition and beer fan in general look forward to is no longer going to be happening. And my job, Manifest Distilling, right next door, we help out with the Underdark. We've actually supplied them with barrels for beers in particular years. I think we helped with this most recent year's one. So sad times. So that's my low light. Keeping things moderate.
Neil, as a proper send off for the last Underdark, do you have a story you'd like to share? An anecdote, an Underdarkadote, if you will?
Yeah. I got some Underdarkadotes. So. Well, let's see. So yesterday there was quite a lot going on downtown. There was a baseball game. It's called Live. Some like I don't know if it's a charity game or whatever. It's called Live Like Lou. I don't know who Lou is. Probably Lou Gehrig's, if I'm guessing. But I think it was like kind of a charity game sort of thing. I don't really know. There was baseball, so there's a lot of baseball fans in town. There's also professional bull riding happening at the arena right next door. And then Intuition was having their Underdark release, and all this is happening in literally the same day. So at various points of the day, you saw various waves of fans and people downtown coming in, right? People really cool, like beer people, beer nerds, and then you have baseball fans who are all pretty normal, and then you have a bunch of people who have never worn a cowboy hat before in their life, wearing the wrong boots. And it was just funny the amount of questions that we would get. Let's see, what was one of my favorite silly questions? Well, the one that we always have to deal with is whenever people learn Intuition's closing, they always go, "What's gonna happen to you guys? Are you closing too?" And then I always make a dumb joke. My previous dumb joke was, "No, we only share, a landlord and a fire suppression system." But I made that joke too many times, so now I'm swapping to, "Oh, we just share a cleaning crew and a zip code," because I need two completely random items that don't go together. But we just kept getting a bunch of silly questions from folk, who granted, don't understand, right? Brewery and distillery next to each other. You might assume they're related. They wouldn't ask as much if we were a flower shop, probably not. I think one of my favorite questions was, "What do you distill here?" And it's like, "Oh, everything." It's like, "Oh, great." But one of the guys from next door, my boy Higgins, brought me some of the new some Underdark from 10 years ago, actually. I think for the 2016 Underdark, as well as the whiskey from the barrel it was aged in, which one of our distillers brought over. And, tried a bit of both. It was very tasty. And I was like, wow, Underdark, good stuff. Obviously, Manifest whiskey, personal opinion, quite good stuff. But it was just quite a big soup of a day. A lot happening. Anyways, I'm going to stop talking. Grace, what is your highlight?
You're not the host. Michael Yerrick is the host.
Neil, and I personally myself am interested in Grace's highlight. Grace.
Hi. My highlight of the 20 minutes is that I made a smoothie. That's not my highlight of the week. I'm proud of it, and I wanted to show y'all. So I made a smoothie. It's kiwi, apple, lime, and water and sugar. But my highlight of the week is kind of like niche. It's a very grace-coated pull. So the news. I also Mike. I didn't tell you at all what it was, so I'm wondering what you typed out for it.
Am I the only one hearing Grace like a monster?
No.
Okay.
No. Grace, here's a fun thing. Every week, as soon as you go to share your highlight, you turn into a Decepticon. And I don't know I don't know what it is. I don't think it has anything to do with anything on your end. Your internet just decides Grace is talking. I'm going to be homophobic. Hey, it's back.
Well
wait, everyone stop. Let him go.
We're good. Let her cook. Let him cook.
This week on Grace's highlights.
I love
Role model. Well, no, I don't. What? Is it doing it again? Okay, so
Role Model is a music artist,
and
he does this thing with one of his songs called Sally when the wine runs out. Say that a couple times after you've had microphone issues. Sally when the wine runs out. And he basically, this is like a point when he performs where there's like a special guest that he always brings out. And he did it on Saturday Night Live, and Charlie XCX was Sally. But he's done it like the Wiggles were Sally once. Like it's so funny to me. Just like a random celebrity appearance, and they don't say anything. They don't like sing part of it. They're just there.
They just dance.
They just dance and have a great time.
And of course, when he was in, that wasn't the mic then, that was just me, y'all. When he was in Australia, he got Robert Irwin. So Robert Irwin was Sally, and it was very cute. But yeah, it's so freaking cute. It's so freaking cute. I'm really proud of myself for thinking about that sentence before it came out of my mouth. But it was so precious. And Robert, if you know anything about Robert Irwin, is that he has the best time doing everything. Do I sound funny again? Why are you laughing?
It's not your microphone, it's your internet. It's literally your internet or something. It's just,
I hate this. Anyway, it was cute. Robert Irwin, like, he got so invested. He was dancing. He did the, like, it's not even the worm. He did the, like, I don't even know how to describe it. He did, like, a mega worm on the stage. Yeah, like a biggin. He did a biggin on the stage. It was great. He has the best time. He was jumping and dancing, and he was a wonderful Sally. So it just, like, was a niche thing, but, like, made me so happy because I love seeing who is Sally on any given night. When he got the Wiggles, that was a big deal for me too. I love those guys, and sometimes girls. But
Grace, I was so distracted by the Decepticon moment that I didn't clock the beginning of this. So can you set up the premise of the Sally thing one more time for me?
yeah, so Role Model is a music artist who has a song called Sally When the Wine Runs Out. And during this song, when he performs it live,
he has a celebrity come out to be Sally. They don't sing, they don't say anything, like maybe afterwards, but like they just show up and look pretty on stage, basically.
And I don't even listen to Role Model, but I'm so invested in who he
Sally
gets to be
is.
Sally.
Oh,
yeah.
got it.
So Robert Irwin was Sally when he was in Australia, and that's it. But
America's
he's had like
sweetheart.
Yeah,
Robert
no,
Irwin.
exactly. DWTS champion Robert Irwin. I wonder if I just like can do a Decepticon voice now to like balance out when I'm not like when the internet's not doing it.
Oh, like if you Decepticon over the Decepticon, you'll sound normal.
Yeah.
That's
And so that Robert. Anyway, it's very cute. Like the Wiggles have been Sally, Charlie XCX was Sally on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
It's cute. It's exciting. Keep up with who Sally is or isn't.
Oh, that's such a fun trend to like introduce people to.
And it's just like,
I've never heard of that.
I don't even listen to him, but it's so cute now. And like it's a fun song. Like maybe I'll listen to him. But it's it's just a cute little thing.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful.
Other notable Sally guests have been Renee Rapp, Marcus Mumford, and oh dear, those are the two big ones I know. But yeah, a lot of folks have been Sally.
That's wild. That's crazy. I love that. I'm now invested in who Sally is. I will know next time. Okay. So now it's my turn for my highlight, and I had all of 3 minutes to come up with a highlight, and that 3 minutes went into photographic evidence that Woody is bald now. That's my highlight. My highlight is the Toy Story 5 trailer that came out and showed us that Woody is bald. And first of all, I think this is genius because okay, I don't know if you guys know this, but when Finding Dory came out, we got a glimpse of Dory's parents, and the internet went crazy because we had a receding hairline made on an animated fish, which is like brilliant. And how on earth would you think that they could do that? And now they've contextually, in the world of Toy Story, found a way to age a toy by giving him a faded paint spot on the top of his head to symbolize his aging baldness. And I think that's brilliant. Pixar, incredible. Forky's getting a wife in the trailer. That's what we see. It's just kind of hype. I like, okay, we all thought Toy Story should have ended with 3, and then 4 was great. And then, like, depending on who you are, okay, 4 was not great. I actually don't have that opinion. Never mind, Grace. Don't, just kidding. Me wishy-washy.
No,
but
because you were coming up to 5, right?
That's true.
5 was the one where they were at the antique store.
No, that's 4. 5
That's
is the
4?
new one. 5 is the new one with balding Woody.
Okay, yeah. Then I keep my eyebrows for 4.
Yeah.
My apologies. Like, we're allowed to have different opinions. I just
Totally. But yeah, so if I don't know where you guys fall on that, viewers, listeners, fellow panelists, where Toy Story should have ended, but we're getting a 5th one regardless, and balding Woody gives me hope for the future. Is all I can really say about that.
I'm excited to just post balding Woody as your highlight in tomorrow's post. I think the world needs to see balding Woody.
This is how I set it up for the show. Woody is bald. Extra, read all about it. Woody is bald. About it.
I also want to say too that, Mike, while we didn't need 4, I do think 4 is good.
4 is good. I thought I enjoyed 4 like a lot.
We didn't need it, but I did enjoy it.
Yep.
The graphics were incredible.
Yeah, the cat, very well done. I'm making this all about Toy Story. Can you tell? I took over as host and I made it my identity. Okay, so with that, we're gonna move into some announcements. And for announcements, Allison, you take that away.
I gotcha, Mike. This one's mine. Just that we have a community group tonight at 6:45. We'd love to see you there. Just a space for us to be together virtually through Zoom. If you've never entered that space before, feel free to message me or Studio Wesley on any of our platforms. If you need the link, it's in our Discord. It's also in our close friends story on Instagram. So a few places you can look, but feel free to let us know if you have questions in the comments or anywhere else that you can reach us. And then also, in case you missed it, Studio Wesley NX is back with a new season, so we're going to go ahead and show that trailer here.
I said 5th. I just got it was like this instead of like this. And I was like, yeah, 5th. But it was like this. And I was like, oh, my thumb is not showing. I need to have it as 5. That was so weird. Okay, whatever.
Welcome back to Studio Wesley Annex,
audio-visual podcast,
where we break down the lectionary texts of the week.
I'm your host, Sam Sells-Williams, and I'm joined by my 2 lovely co-hosts,
John McClellan
and Issa Lopez.
That's right. This season on Studio Wesley Annex, we are trying something a little bit different. Instead of a rotating cast of characters, we are going to have 2 amazing co-hosts joining me on this journey to have one continuous conversation over the lectionary texts. We wanted to have 2 co-hosts so that we can continue having and growing on the same ideas in our lectionary text and be able to bring new segments, new bits, and new conversations to what it means to be in Studio Wesley Annex.
But don't worry, we are still going to be bringing the same depth of conversation and also chaos that you've come to expect from Annex.
Join us for our first episode premiering February 5th, everywhere you get your podcasts. Hope to see you there.
And with that, all God's people are going to say, bye.
Bye.
Yay, we love Annex. I had the privilege of hosting Annex for a season or 2, and I know that Sam and Issa and John, this new group, such good content. So excited for that. So if you get a chance and you haven't watched it before, take a gander, take a listen. It's always a lot of fun. I also have the honor of getting to edit those goofballs, and that's so much fun for me too. So okay. This brings us to our weekly shifting segment, which this week will be Words from the World. Probably forgetting the very formalistic way to say this, but Words from the World is very simply words coming at you from the world. So every time we do this segment, somebody will have prepared an article or a video or something that they want to share with us that's happening in the larger scale world. So Allison's got one for us this week. Tell us about it.
Yeah, my favorite. You did great, Mike. 10 out of 10 with that. My favorite tagline that Derek uses though is neighborhood to nations. And I'm coming at you with
Ooh,
neighborhood.
I love it.
Yeah, neighborhood. So nothing huge going on in the world. Well, there are huge things going on in the world. Not talking about anything huge going on in the world. But I just want to talk about libraries. I love the library. I'm a big library girl. I read all of my ebooks through the library. I read all of my audiobooks through the library. I physically go to the library and check out books to read. So I did link an article, and I'll link that in our store in our link tree tomorrow, but I sent the group an article that's basically just talking about, it's a couple of years old because I couldn't find I was trying to find a good recent article, and there were articles, but I just didn't like them that much. So this one's about 2 years old, but it's talking about Gen Z and millennials preferring print books now over over ebooks. And people have started to see a rise in the use of libraries because of it, which is great because we really need to be utilizing our libraries, because if we don't utilize them, all of the Save Your Library efforts will be for naught. So it's just kind of one of those things. And there are so many resources in the library other than just books. There's internet and computers and just spaces to be. Like, I can tell you that so most of you guys know I work 2 jobs. And what that means is one of my jobs has an office, and I utilize that office for both jobs. But sometimes it looks like me being in the same space for like 11 hours a day. And that's too many hours. And I don't really work well at home all the time. So recently I've started going to the library. I'll just go sit at the library for several hours and get a bunch of work done. And it's quiet, it's clean, it's got internet, you can bring snacks in and things like that. So there are a lot of different things you can do in the library. They have like readings, and authors come sometimes, and there's lots of children's events and story times, and there's so much that goes on. So I don't have any like questions or anything, but I kind of just wanted to like bring up libraries and the ways that we should be utilizing them more. Similar to like Grace's Words from the World, where she was like, talking about writing your representatives, like just like more of just like an action item of like, we really should be using our libraries more, because if we don't use them, they won't exist. And so just like save the libraries. And I don't know what question or what I'm asking for from the panel, but that's where I'm at with it.
No, this is great. And honestly, like immediately so calming. I don't know why, just bringing up the topic of libraries and books, like in print media, in the digital space, which we are obviously communicating through, is so calming to me, because we just have such, like, I don't know about you guys, but like sort of nostalgic memories around it. Neil, Grace, I'd love to hear from you guys before I jump in with more stuff.
I went to the library so much as a kid. Like, I was the library kid. I was blasting through books. I was there all the time. Actually, our librarian used to be like a radio host, like a local radio host. So my mom like befriended him because like she knew his voice from the radio from like way back. And so then like I was always there, and we were just like, it was just so much fun. Like, it felt like a third space. We've like talked about third spaces before too. Like, it felt like another home. Bless you, Michael. It was just wonderful. Like, it was so much fun. There were a bunch of books. I got so invested in book series, and like it was really nice like to explore. Like, this was as a kid, but like it was a space where I could explore and like pick things out for myself. Like I got to choose what book series I wanted to read. Obviously, like if there was something that my mom like heard was like a cool thing, then like maybe she'd be like, oh, do you want to read this? But it was just wonderful. Like, I got super invested in like cartoon books, comics. That's what they're called. They're called comics. Cartoon books, and like 39 Clues, if anybody read that as a kid. Like, I was always there. And then I like stopped going as an adult, and then I didn't have a printer for a while, and then I started going again as an adult. It's great. It's great. I use the library at my school right now, but I feel like when I'm not connected to a school anymore, library kid time. Library kid as an adult for the rest of my life.
Well, and I think too, because like that's where I was like, I feel like I used to use the library a lot more, and then I realized it was just for school. Like, I would use the library at my school, at whatever college I was at. But like when I was younger, I would go. But it's one of those things where like all of those things that like you could do at the library as a kid, you can still do as an adult. Like you can find a book and sit in the middle of a library book aisle and just and read through it or flip through it or whatever you want. You can go find a comfortable chair and read through it. Like kids go in, there's usually a kid's space with like books, and sometimes there's toys and puzzles and computers for them depending on your library. But like all of that exists on the adult side too. And just somewhere along the way, I feel like so many people just like dropped it. Like, I mean, I did, a lot of us did. And so I've been utilizing it so much more lately. And you can do all those things still, just as an adult in the adult sections. You can do it in the kids sections too if you want. You can read kids' books. I don't know.
Yeah, I specifically think of like my library when I was a kid. Like, first of all, getting my library card was like this really wild experience. Like, oh my gosh, I get to sign this thing for the first time. Like, and then also like I just think in a broader, because I'm sitting here like thinking like, well, why Gen Z and millennials? Because you would think that like growing into the digital age, you would want to make use of the digital space as much as possible. And this really much feels like go back to that because I think it's nostalgic, right? I think of a library and I think of like the community hub that it used to be for me. Like as a kid, I literally was like part of this, like all these little summer camps as a kid, like at the library. We do chess stuff, we do arts and crafts. There would be like book fairs at the library and like story time readings, like literally anything you can think of. And like, or if like, I remember like I was reading the Lemony Snicket book series like as it was coming out, and I would go to the library and like I'm like, I gotta get the new copy, gotta get there fast. And then you'd ask the librarian, when does that one have to come back? Because I really need to read it, right? Like there's just all these sort of joys that come with not having like everything accessible to you right away that I think the generations that we're talking about that kind of like lived in the both of it might be very keen to, right? Like, oh, I lived in both spaces, so now I kind of like miss the olden times. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I think the patience thing is like a good add to it too, because like a good example is I'm always reading at least 2 books at one time, but sometimes 3 because I listen to an audiobook, I read a physical book, and sometimes I'm also reading an ebook. I'm in the middle of a series of my audiobooks right now, reading them through the library, and there are like a million holds on it. So I'm currently just waiting in line while I'm in the middle of a series. So it teaches such extreme patience because like I could just go buy the book. I could just like go buy the book, but I'm not. Instead, I'm just like, it'll come eventually. And like, it'll be there eventually. Like, it's a good lesson in patience. Like when you were a kid and you were like, when is it coming in? When can I have it? It's just like a good patience.
Yeah, I love a library. I'll admit I don't go as much as I should these days. I loved the library a lot as a kid, but what I try to do now a lot is always go to local bookstores. You know, it's like I try not to order things like online from Amazon, or if I do order something online, I want to see if I can get it like, you know, directly from the author or something like that, right? But for the most part, when I order things like I live right, basically like right across the street. Well, I live like 2 minutes away from the Chamberlain's Book Mine here in Jacksonville, which, for those who don't know, I think it's like the largest bookstore in Florida, or at the very least Northeast Florida. It's huge. It literally, like, you can literally get lost in there. And they do have some seats. You can't rent books out, but because it's a new and used bookstore, you can find books for like $4 or $5. Like I went in there maybe a couple weeks ago, and I picked up 3 or 4 books. You know, I think I picked up Ulysses by James Joyce, a collection of some of his poems, and then something else. And then it cost me like $10, I think, for, you know, some really awesome books that you know, I would have been more than double that price for, you know, just one of them. But yeah, I try to go there. There's another place in San Marco. I think it's literally called the San Marco Bookstore. It's a little place, quaint. Like I said, they also have new things, but they also have like really rare, like collectible things. Like they have this rare, like collectible set of Lord of the Rings books that's like $6.50 a book. It's ridiculous. They're beautiful, but yeah, I need to go to the library more, but my version of that is because I live next to the book mine. I'm like, I could go to the library, but the book mine's right there. Well, actually, it's right there. It's that way. It's that way. So yeah, book mine.
Yeah, I'm also of the like I want to buy my books, but that's because I like want to have a library in my house. I do have a room dedicated to just books on bookshelves, right? But now I'm thinking, and Allison, let me know if you don't want the conversation to like go in this direction, but like because you had mentioned just to like save the libraries, like what are we going to do if we don't have them? And I do think a big thing to note about libraries too is that that's where like accessibility is very easy, right? Like you don't need an income to like have a library card, at least not that I know of anyways, right? Like that is a place where you can go sit and read a book, and you're not like buying it. There's no financial investment, right? Like this is truly accessibility to the public. And that's why them being like in my brain, them being a space for like public community and everything is so important. Like, yeah, we definitely don't want libraries to go away because libraries are the most accessible. I mean, even if you just talk digitally, you're putting a barrier on it, right? And just like libraries in general, that's like, yeah, it's the accessibility for me. I don't know. Does that
Yeah, I mean, I think two things. One, Neil, I like that you brought in the conversation about used bookstores too, because here's the thing: I also love physical books, and I also dream of a huge library. I have too many books. I use those as trophies now. So I read my books through the library, and then I get my little trophies from the used bookstore. So I do both. I wanted to name that. But back to your point, Mike. Yes. So that's another reason I love libraries too, is because they are so accessible to so many people. So thinking about like the ways that so much of what we do is online. So thinking about like legal processes and things like that most forms are all done online. And you can go to the library and you can use a computer for free that has the internet and do. So there's like so many pieces of our world that can be inaccessible to people who might not have internet or access to as much technology as everyone else. Or maybe it's a matter of like power. Maybe they don't have power or whatever is going on. They can access all of that in the library. Like, it's just such a cool tool, thinking about like income disparities and what people can do in the library in those cases, and like children's access to books that they might not have at home for whatever reason. Like, there's so many different accessibility pieces of the library too, which is why I'm like, I think we all should be using it more, because that push for like that Gen Z and millennials kind of have been doing for the last few years of like, we should use our libraries and save our libraries, is an important one, because even if we as people don't always need those resources, someone else does. So the more we can use them, the more it ensures that they're always there.
Well, and just to like add on to that super quick, because I know that we're really filling up our time today, you guys. We're so happy to talk about this. It's a good thing to talk about. Your librarians want so badly for just like everything good in the world to happen to you. Like, they are so like, I don't know if some of y'all have seen like the librarians on TikTok or on Instagram or whatever. Like, Michael the librarian is now the new Reading Rainbow guy. So exciting, so cool. But like, your librarians, they want you to be literate. They want you to have success finding a job. They want you to feel comfortable. They want you to have a place to go that has heating or air conditioning, when the outside world is the complete opposite. Like, your librarians want nothing but success for you. And like, if you're a person like me who doesn't really like to ask people questions, to ask like, hey, I actually don't know how to apply for this job. I'm not sure like what I should be doing here. Or like, oh, I'm just like struggling to find this thing. I fill in the blank. Like, your librarian wants you to be successful. And they're such a great resource. So like, not only like you have all these books, you have access to the internet, you have access to a human that's job is to be there for you in what you need, not as like a therapist, right, but like as like a resource. And it's wonderful.
Well, and I want to add on that this is, I don't feel like common knowledge. Librarians have to get master's degrees. To be a librarian, you have to have a master's in library science. And so like, they know their stuff. They are a good resource. They went through so much school to literally work in a library for the rest of their life. And I just want to drop that part too.
Yeah. Okay, I love this. This is we're very pro library space, and I love that. Yeah, I think we could talk about this forever, and I love all the things that we've been talking about. For the sake of time, we will move on, but this is still going to be a strong encouragement to everybody to kind of like support the like library and used book spaces, because I think yeah, this sort of Gen Z and millennial reverting or going back like to this preference over like printed media, I think is a really good thing to see and acknowledge. So I love that we're talking about it. But yeah, did not mean to click that, and I love that that just happened. That was absolutely accidental. I meant to click this. All right, and since we all know that you've been missing Derek deeply, with him not being on the show this week, we do have a special closing from him to kind of wrap up our show here. So here's some words from Derek.
Hey, Studio Wesley. It's been a good show tonight. As we're closing, I want to reflect we're now in the season of Lent for many of us in the Christian church. And today's gospel text is Matthew 4. And I was listening to my pastor, Steve Hart, at San Marco Church this morning, and he reminded me something that's inside this text. It's the story of Jesus being led by the Spirit into the wilderness and he's tempted by, according to the text, the devil. And the question that keeps coming to him from the devil, the question that keeps coming to Jesus is, since you are God's son, do something or let something happen. And there's so much in the text, and we don't have time tonight to talk about it, but Pastor Steve reminded me that this question, since you are God's son, it's a question about identity. The devil in the story is asking a question to sort of pick at Jesus' identity. And Jesus' response, and I invite you to read it, Matthew chapter 4, but his response is rooted in this quiet confidence of who he is and who God is and who God has made him to be. It's a beautiful thing. And I think a challenge for us in 2026, particularly young adults, that is the Studio Wesley universe. So here's what I want to suggest tonight. We're in this season of Lent where often people will give up things for Lent. Sometimes people will take on things. And maybe you've already decided that you're giving up some things. Sometimes people give up certain food groups or food. They fast, in general. And other times people will take on things like extra scripture reading or times of prayer. I would invite you to take something on. I want to invite the young adults in Studio Wesley to take on the work of personal understanding, knowing who we are, knowing our own identity. And the goal would be for it to be something similar to Jesus, right? Where when he's questioned, he receives the question, he hears the question, and it meets a quiet confidence. Jesus knows who he is, and he doesn't need something out there to help him figure that out. He doesn't need something out there to prove it. He knows who he is, and he can respond to this question from that place of quiet confidence. I want that for you. I believe God wants that for you too. And this is what I want to invite you into this Lent. Sometimes Enneagram helps, Myers-Briggs sometimes helps with that. DISC, I don't use it, but other people do. Lots of typologies out there. These are tools to help us do this work of self-discovery. Enneagram is not the work of self-discovery. Enneagram is the tool that helps us do the work of self-discovery. So you got to use them. But that's what I want to invite you in this Lent. I want to invite you in this Lent to take up the work of self-discovery, take up the work of identity and understanding who you are. It's available to you. That quiet confidence is available to you.
Yeah, you guys, this has been such a great episode. Thank you so much for last minute letting me host this. It's actually brought me so much joy today. So what?
I said thank you, Mike. This was good. It was great.
Yay. We're going to clap for the show. Okay, I did want to one quick thing before we go. I just want to full circle because we mentioned Toy Story so much today, and the one thing I have to wrap up is we read this article about Gen Z and millennials preferring print books, and Toy Story 5, the plot line is about a child switching to all their energy to a tablet and no longer playing with their physical toys. So I think there is a very cool sort of full circle moment here where we're talking about the same thing in a lot of different fonts. So yeah, just wanted to bring that up as we close this episode. Neil, Grace, Allison, thank you guys so much for having me and then for doing the thing that we all know you guys to constantly be doing for us. So yeah, that's it for today. Bye, you guys.